In Auschwitz, nobody was known by their names, only numbers.
Because my number, everyone was asking, what is it? They didn't know what it is, you know, a Mendelssohn number, you know. And then I decided, by the first possibility, to take out the number.
6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust. Hashalom is one of the 3.5 million survivors. The Second World War is no longer a story just shared within families, but is history in a textbook. For instance, stories of being part of a special medical experiment by Nazi doctor Joseph Mengele. Many of the survivors feared nobody would believe such accounts, as if they were making them all up.
At the end of the barracks, there was a cage, like an animal cage, where you put monkeys, rabbits, I don't know, animals. Take your clothes off, sit there. Mother, us, my sister and I, and another pair of identical twins slightly older than us, maybe age 10. And for about 2 weeks, Mengele and his team came over to give us injections in our backs, injections in the spine.
In the first, let's say, 20 years after the war, we were not talking because people did not believe us that what we are selling is true. And second, they start to ask questions. Listen, if it's everything so bad, how you survived?
One survivor who wasn't afraid to tell his story immediately after the war was Italian Jewish writer Primo Levi. He was incarcerated in Auschwitz for nearly 12 months before being liberated in January 1945. His book, If This Is a Man, not only describes the atrocities in great detail, but it also expands on his thoughts about humanity. He said the Nazis had ultimately won because they defeated humanity by successfully transforming humans into animals. Meanwhile, 3/4 of a century on, some survivors have their worries. A study from Tel Aviv University found there was a marked increase in anti-Semitism attacks in 2018.
I very much hope that learning more about the Holocaust and in the hope that this gathering of leaders from all over the world will find ways to fight anti-Semitism and let it be known, let the story of what happened then be known and learn from that it should never ever happen again.
For those who have been through the worst of Auschwitz, hate is the last thing they need to revisit.